What's that old saying? Good things come to those who wait? Well, today is pay dirt. The day has finally come to build out our miter saw station, and if you've been following along on our small shop build, you'll already know this, but if you're new here, quick recap. I saw an ad on Marketplace a few months back that went something like, I don't know, free kitchen cabinets must help remove. Well, needless to say, I jumped all over that deal, gave the guy a call, made a deal with him. When his new cabinets come in, he'd call us, we'd come and remove the old ones and get them for free. So anyhow, now I finally got a call from him. We went and removed the cabinets. This is what we ended up with. It's a full 10 by 10 maple kitchen. Some of the boxes are not in the best shape, but I'm not going to be using all of them anyhow. Now the vanity cabinets I was able to get early on, and I've had my miter saw sitting on them since. So now it's just time to try to put it all together to make a miter saw station. So let's jump right in.
First step was to clear out the tools and get a fresh canvas to start on. This wall is a total of almost 15 feet up to the deep freeze location. I'm starting with one of the 30-inch wide cabinets that we have to fill in the left side closest to the deep freeze. As you can see, the height difference between vanity cabinets and kitchen cabinets is about 4 inches, and this should work out perfect for the height difference from the base of the miter saw to the cutting deck of the saw. The plug I'll be using for the miter saw and the shop vac, of course, is in the wrong location, no surprise there, but by shifting the whole set 6 inches over, we'll place the outlet directly above the lower vanity cabinets, which is perfect. Now, if you haven't noticed by now, the mounting wall the cabinets need to attach to is stucco, which I admit is a bit odd, but it is what I'm dealing with. Normally, I would be attaching each cabinet to the wall individually. Because it is stucco, I really don't want to put a bunch of holes in it. So my idea is just to level up and screw all the boxes together first, and then at that point I can check with the level, see where we're at, and then possibly just use shims under the front of the cabinets and hopefully keep the set of them tight to the wall. Anytime I have to screw cabinets together, I find it helpful to use these C-clamp vice grips. These particular ones are made by Milwaukee, and they are definitely a must-have when installing cabinets. I'll put a link in the description below if you want to get a set of these. They're definitely worth having. And to screw the boxes together, I'm using 1 1/8 wood screws in each corner of the cabinet boxes. Now I'll just continue attaching the remainder of the lower cabinets together in the same manner, and we'll see what we end up with. I was going to stop at this point because I only had 2 corner base cabinets left that were any good. After measuring off the stucco wall, I had just enough room to add one of these corner units without creeping into the garage door opening. Hey, thanks for finding that door, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I knew it wasn't 2 doors.
I don't know why he wasn't thinking. I thought it was two 12-inch and it was a full 24. Here I was freaking out.
Blaming others.
Yeah, can you get that ink off there?
Best solution is rubbing alcohol.
I'm quite happy with this.
Most people would be.
Well, you can't pass up free cabinets. Okay, looks good. Don't have to be perfect.
Perfect is someone else's interpretation.
Whoa, that's deep. Need a kick on the bottom, need a couple countertops, 1.5 inches thick.
And the list goes on.
And the list goes on and on.
And when do I get my closet?
It's coming.
Okay, I'm done.
Thank you. Thanks, appreciate it. Okay, that's enough bonding for today. Let's move on to hanging the upper cabinets that are left. Okay, so that's about all I need for cabinets for this wall. Next step's going to be the countertops. I originally planned on doubling up 2 sheets of 3/4 inch plywood to get a full 1.5 inches. And I did end up buying 2 sheets. However, I'm only going to use one of the 2 sheets. The reason being, I've got a bunch of this 3/4 inch 1x6 tongue and groove laying around that I really need to use up. The plan now is to use the 1x6 as the first layer of build up for the countertops and then add the 3/4 inch plywood to that. Here I'm cutting the plywood to the widest measurement, and then I'll take it back to the cabinets and square it up with the boxes. When the tops are complete, I want a total of 1 3/4 inch overhang on the front edge. So I'm marking the cut I need to make at 1 inch, and then I'll add a 3/4 inch nose to that to finish it off. Now I can just flip over the plywood and add the buildup of the 1x6 material I cut earlier. As you can see, there's still some warpage with the plywood, but this should straighten itself out once I screw the tops down. With both tops complete, I've went ahead and set the miter saw in place to check level and see if the saw deck and the new tops line up. Well, not so much, as you can see. There's a slight gap between the plywood and the level. However, it does close up further down the line. To correct this, I'll cut a 3/16 inch shim to insert between the plywood and the cabinet boxes. Here I'm just adding the 3/4 inch nosing to the front of the countertops using glue and brad nails. And I think this finishes it off nicely. You'll notice I left an opening in the trim, and this was kind of an afterthought. I have a wire wheel and a flexible spindle sander that I use quite a bit, so I thought I would mount it to a folding shelf at this location, so when I need it, I can just flip it up, and when it's not in use, it's not interfering with anything I'm cutting on the miter saw. And just to soften the edge of these tops, I'm going to use a chamfer bit in my trim router. This is rough plywood, and I should have probably bought good one-side plywood, but I didn't, so I'm just going to give it a light sand with 120 grit sandpaper, and really all this is going to do is knock down any potential sliver points. One of the last things to do was to add a fence on either side to line up with the miter saw fence. By placing a long level along the miter saw fence, I can then transfer a reference line to the plywood countertops. Now to build this fence, all I did was rip down 2 lengths of plywood, one at 4 1/4 inches, which will act as the upright portion of the fence, and one at 3 inches, which when fastened together will give me a fastening point to the countertops. To finish off this project, I've got some tung oil lying around, so I'm just going to apply that with a cloth, and this is mainly just to keep any stains off the wood. I'm really happy the way this miter saw wall turned out, and it just goes to show you there are ways to do things without spending a lot of money. I know these days money can be tight, but everybody still wants instant gratification. So if we all learn just to have a little bit of patience, good things can always happen. And if you're just starting out doing any kind of DIY, trust me, you're gonna need a lot of patience. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you haven't subscribed, I hope you'll think about it. Like and share this video, and I will see you next time around. Peace.